What is going on, members of the Shy Guy Squad and MPL fans alike? My name is Dan, otherwise known as Danekii, and welcome to the team analysis for Week 7 of the Major Pokemon League versus Joe Kalisk and the Leeds Rhyhorns. Now, Jordy is a very tough opponent for me. I've actually never beaten Jordy in a league battle before, and every time I prepped a team against him as well, because I've helped other coaches prep before to battle Jordy, and he always seems to come out on top, so I'm kind of worried about this game. As Jordy is, in my opinion, he's a better battler than me, and I've been on my tilt right now. I mean, we got that huge bounce back last week, but I don't know, the tilt is always in both ways. So, but I have built a team to prep or to counter his draft, and his draft consists of Latias, Mamoswine, Entei, Mega Scizor, Hitmontop, Umbreon, Amoonguss, Seismitoad, Thunderous Eye, and Ditto. Now, as you guys know, if you haven't familiarized yourself with my draft yet, we have Weavile, Goodra, Greninja, Megalodios, Scolipede, Registeel, Emboar, Jolteon, Golurk, and Slurpuff. Now, Slurpuff is leaving us as of week 8 together with Golurk. Golurk is going to the Viridian Beedrill, so I hope Dinch can take care of him for me. And we received from the Viridian Beedrills their Tauros, Adam Tauros. Fast normal type mon that does a good chunk of damage. We did lose a rocker and we lost a spin immunity, which is kind of unfortunate, but we did gain a fast normal type attacker with sheer force and intimidate with a decent defensive stat. Now, Slurpuff on the other hand, Courtney makes this announcement as well. Courtney on the other hand, she's leaving into free agency. It's kind of sad to see Courtney go. I mean, I love that cupcake. I love that cupcake, man. It's just so adorable. But as of Courtney's departure, we are taking from free agency Hitmonlee, or however you want to say it. I still don't have a nickname for it, so make sure to leave your nicknames in the comments section down below for Hitmonlee. And also tell me, after you see the prep, what will you have brought to this match? Because maybe, just maybe, I might use some of these sets against Jordy next time, because we play him again in week 12, the final match of the season. Or the regular season, at least, I don't know. We could make it into playoffs, again, that would be cool. But anyways, we're getting Hitmonlee. Don't know I'm not quite sure what to name him yet. I don't want to name him Bruise or Erasmo. Too generic. Too overused. Try to come up with something creative, and the most creative nickname will be used, and I will also give you a shout out. Now, I also want to give a quick shout out to Sableyes, one of the announcers of the Major Pokemon League, for helping me build a little bit this week. We came up with some good sets, and I feel like this team is very well. I feel like it's gonna do well, but then again, I've always gotten doubled up by Jordy, so who knows? Let's just get right into the team. You guys have heard me ramble now for, I don't know, 3 minutes. So let's get into this. Okay, so starting off, we have a Rocky Helmet Registeel. This is both my lead and one of my checks to Mega Scizor. As Stealth Rock, EQ, Thunder Wave, and Iron Head. Now we can't really touch Scizor too much, but we can get up our hazards turn 1 to set a certain amount of mons on Jordy's team in range of our next Pokemon. Earthquake is just to hit the like if he thinks he can switch in on my Registeel and I make a prediction, I can do that. Thunder Wave is to slow things down, of course, and Iron Head is just for para-flinching, as you can see, Thunder Wave and Iron Head. So I can, for example, para-flinch down his Latias, which is an idea that I had. Now our investments lie in max HP, 124 defense with an impish nature, and 132 Spadef. Now the 132 Spadef allows us to take 2 Focus Blasts from Thunderous Eye if it's Timid Life Orb, which I expect it to be to outspeed our Mega Latias. And therefore, we can take 2 Timid Life Orb Focus Blasts, and we can also take any physical hit that Jordy wants to drop on us. An Adamant, Earthquake, Banded, Sacred Fire. I don't think we can take a Flare Blitz because that's a lot, but that's a lot of recoil for him, seeing as we have the HP and the Rocky Helmets. That's a lot of recoil for Entei right there, if he does decide to Flare Blitz our Registeel. We can also take, from Jersey, we can take 2 superpowers from Scizor. We can take any close combat. We can take the deal on Umbreon. Seismitoad doesn't really get a lot of good physical stabs, though. And we can fight off Ditto 1v1. So that is Registeel this week, and next up is our next mon, Weavile. Now if we get the Stealth Rocks up, if Registeel gets those up turn 1, which I expect him to do, his mons, Thundurus and Latias, are already in range of my Ice Shard. We have to be Jolly. Unfortunately, we're just missing a little bit of it to be able to outspeed the Thundurus. So Ice Shard out prioritizes his Thunder Wave, so we can just Ice Shard and knock him out flat turn 1, or not turn 1, but after Stealth Rock damage, of course. We have Knockoff, which does like, it does like 70% to almost everything on his team, barring the Umbreon, I think, and Hitmontop, which is insane. Weavile is so strong, and finally I'm starting to figure out a little bit more how to use it. Give it some extra, like, everyone's like, life load. No. We're trying Bandit this week, and I feel like it's going to do a lot of work. It's doing a good chunk of damage, and you can also question the Brick Break over Low Kick, but Brick Break can Oko Umbreon. I think it was Oko, or very like close to a KO. I almost typed in Melio does on the damage calc before I started explaining. So let's check Umbreon as the Cleric Wishpasser set. It's a 2-hit KO if he's deaf, actually, so that there's a little bit of an overstatement on Umbreon's defenses, but Low Kick basically does nothing compared to the like Low Kick does nothing compared to Brick Break. Brick Break has a chance to Oko 2-hit KO after Stealth Rock and leftovers, while Low Kick does like 39% max, which means it's a 3-hit KO. Now Mamoswine dies to both of them. But I'd rather want more damage on the Umbreon, and in case I don't know what on his team could exactly pack screens, but I can break them. So that's also nice with Brick Break, and therefore I decided to do it. And of course, Icicle Crash is just hard-hitting stab that hits Latias incredibly hard. It hits it on top as the strongest move I have. It hit Amoonguss absolutely shredded. Seismitoad takes a huge chunk from both Icicle Crash and Knockoff. Thundurus, as we mentioned, is more so meant for Ice Shard, and Ditto. Ditto is going to be a tricky one if he gets Weavile, because Choice Scarf Brick Break is going to Oko me over, like, if my Weavile fights off against my Weavile, I'm going to lose that one, but then of course I can check what move he decides to go for to take me out. I could do Low Kick, but it doesn't change anything. Like, even if he's Choice Scarf and has like the base 48, which I'm doing like on the side right here, I would show you guys, but still, Low Kick against a Weavile from Choice Scarf Weavile still does 115 to 138, so I can't really stop it. There's no point in running Low Kick to try to stop the Weavile from doing damage to me. So, well, the Ditto to doing damage to me from Weavile. So I decided to run Brick Break because it just did more to his team overall than what Low Kick could give me. Now next up on the team is Emboar with the safety goggles. This is one of my switch-ins to Amoonguss. Now fair enough, the Spadef isn't the greatest and a Sludge Bomb is not well appreciated, but I'm definitely scaring it out again ASAP if he switches in. Like, if I switch into Amoonguss, he's switching out, there's no question about it. He does not want to stay in on an Emboar, because Emboar is going to obliterate it, unless it's like Rocky Helmet, but then again, I still take away a huge threat that is just an annoyance to my team, which is always nice. So I got Sucker Punch, Flare Blitz, Earthquake, and Superpower. Sucker Punch is for the Lottie, Flare Blitz is for the rest of his team, Earthquake is for the NK, and Superpower is for the Mamoswine, and Umbreon. Like, the things that Flare Blitz doesn't deal with, we have Earthquake and Superpower for. Simply put it, there's no point in me, like, there's no point in me trying to put any other moves on it because I don't need them. And Safety Goggles, of course, to switch it into Amoonguss, like I mentioned. 100 speed allows me to outspeed just slightly, let's say I think it was 12 speed EVs into the Scizor in case he's the bulky SD set or somewhere along the lines of that, where he lacks speed and just runs offense. Like he runs like bulky offense on it with no speed. That means I can outspeed him right there. Rest is in HP, and then of course we're max attack adamant because we could, and it'll show us a lot more like KOs and put things in range more than Jolly does. So that is Emboar this week, and next up we have Trick of Aces the Greninja, which is probably one of the ace in the hole. you could question HP Grass and have Grass not over it, but I decided against it. Makes it a little bit more for Ditto, like in case he wants to hidden power on a switch in or something. So, because he could always add HP Ice on the Ditto or something like that. I don't know what hidden power IVs that Jordy will give Ditto. It could be HP Dark for all that I know. We have HP Grass, Ice Beam, U-Turn, and Scald. HP Grass is for the Seismitoad specifically. Now, Grass Knot would be more, I think, but I say it's just, like I mentioned, for Zero IVs and stuff. Ice Beam is for the Latias. It also hits the Thundurus, and we outspeed the Thundurus due to our speed, and due to HP Grass, we have to run 248 and 88. But yeah, so we have Ice Beam, we have U-Turn just for mainly pivot, and we can switch out on stuff like potential Lati. Well, we can switch out on anything as long as we find, as long as we know Scarfers. And I feel like we can use some of our other members to identify what the Scarfers are and play around that. And of course we have Scald to burn stuff because that's what Scald does. And I feel like Greninja is going to be a very good asset this week and be able to do a lot of damage. So I'm very fond of Greninja. People say that Greninja is bad, but Greninja is not that bad, man. He's putting in work. I mean, I'll bring it up right now. In TBU, he went 9-3 or something like that. Greninja was a beast, and people who sleep on Greninja, they are in for a tough time. Now, the stats may not be the best, as you can see. It has 103 special attack and 95 attack, but that is still reasonably good offense. Like, it's not 130 Gengar special attack, it's not something amazing in attack either, but it's still a semi-hard hitting Pokemon, and with the Life Orb, that still chugs along. And I gave you slight misinformation. Greninja went 9-4, not 9-3, but that still says a bit about how Greninja did. And Greninja is such a good Pokemon, people sleep. But yeah, so we got this, is what we got this week. We're going to take Jordy down. I'm thinking with this set that this thing is going to do a lot of work against this team. It hits most things. And I could have ran HP Fire for Scizor, but in the long run I decided against it. Thought hitting the Seismitoad, which is a more likely switch into my Greninja, it was a better option. Now next up is Alphonse, which is our Golurk, holding the Yachi Berry to be able to take an Icicle Crash from the Mamoswine as of any variant of Mamoswine. Now we have Drain Punch, so we can punch Mamoswine really hard, and we can also hit the Umbreon for a good amount of damage. Ice Punch is there for the Lati, for the Thundurus, if he Dittos, that's why we have Shadow Punch as well. It's for the Amoonguss. Golurk can hit so many things so hard, and I wanted to bring him this week as a parting, like a farewell kind of bring to, like, since this is goodbye, we're not going to use Golurk anymore, which might give us a hard time against Jordy the next time because E-Speed Entei is kind of a threat, and we're getting rid of our Ghost type. But yeah, I feel like we can work around it, like we always do. We gotta get our hopes back up. We're picking up the Tauros, and I feel like Tauros can put in some good effort for team. But yeah, so we're running 148 HP, which allows us to take the Icicle Crash from any variant of Mamoswine, of course. Max attack Adamant, 100 speed, which allows us to outspeed a defensive Umbreon. 4 in each defensive, because that was just kind of what was left. I could have bumped it up to make it 89 speed, but I didn't see a reason to do it. So that is our Golurk spread this week. And finally, we have Courtney the Cupcake. Where do I even begin with you? We tried against Blake. It really didn't work week 1. I'm terribly sorry about that, Courtney. We tried again against Blizz, and the untold story of that battle, the reason why Weezing had to take some damage was because Courtney went for Psychic against Weezing trying to take it out. Didn't work, wasn't in range, so that was kind of unfortunate. Well, we brought Courtney the Cupcake, and this is our last time we're gonna bring her. So she is Specs, Dazzling Gleam, Flamethrower, Surf, and Psychic. Dazzling Gleam is for the Latias, and it's also Stab, it's for the Hitmontop, it's for the Umbreon, and it also hits Seismitoad, it hits Ditto, it hits Thundurus for neutral. So, you know, there we go. We got Flamethrower for the Mega Scizor because, fun fact, this Courtney set can take a Bullet Punch from Scizor. Yes, this Courtney can take a Bullet Punch from Scizor. And that is just scrum-diddly umptious. Scizor offensive SD versus Courtney. Yeah, I can take any Bullet Punch from I can take a Bullet Punch from an Adamant Technician, Mega Scizor, and retaliate with a Flamethrower. Of course, I need to be around full. I cannot take a lot of damage, so that kinda sucks. Like, he has a, if he is Adamant, he has a 37.5% chance to OHKO after Stealth Rocks if he gets up his rocks with, I think his main and only rocker is, well, he has Mamoswine and Seismitoad, but I feel like if he's gonna bring rocks, Seismitoad is the more likely option. So if he gets up his rocks with Seismitoad, which is what I would assume, he is going to have a 37.5% chance to OHKO my Slurpuff with Bullet Punch from an Adamant Max Attack Scizor. So we have Flamethrower that can easily OHKO that. We have Surf for the Mamoswine as well. Well, it's mainly for the Mamoswine because Mamoswine's a threat, man. And because the Thick Fat, that Flamethrower ain't doing shit. So I decided to put on Surf here. You know, want to see Courtney ride the waves before she says goodbye. And finally we have Psychic as just an extra move to hit Amoonguss with. It was more so, it's just like, what do I want as my last move? I'm free to pick from anything in Courtney's move pool. And I could have gone Draining Kiss, I could have gone for most things really. I can look at her move pool and just see what our options were. If I ever remove Psychic and just type in Special, we can look at what we had. We had Draining Kiss, we had Energy Ball, we had Fairy Wind, which we would never bring, all the hidden powers, Round, Snore, and Thunderbolt. But in the end, we decided to pick Psychic. I could have gone Hyper Beam, that would have been hilarious, but no, we decided to pick up Psychic, and that's because it actually hit something on its team pretty decently. I could have gone Energy Ball, you know, from Mamoswine and Seismitoad, but So, yeah, we have enough speed to outspeed a bulky Scizor, which means we can for sure take a hit from it. We have the special attack of Max and the HP to take a Bullet Punch. So that is the team this week. Quickly just gonna look over each and every mon. I'm just gonna turn off my 3DS because it gets warm when I have OBS open. So I don't know why that is. But yeah, so quick rundown on the team. We got Reggie the defensive wall, Choice Banded Weavile, Safety Goggles Embor, Life Orb Greninja, Yachi Berry Golurk, and Choice Specs Courtney Slurpuff the Cupcake. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. Tell me in the comment section down below a nickname for Hitmonlee, or Hitmonlee, however you want to pronounce it, and tell me what monster my draft would you have brought to this match. Let me just summarize it real quick for you guys so you guys know what we got. We have Weavile, Goodra, Greninja, Megalodion, Scolipede, Registeel, Emboar, Jolteon, Golurk, and Slurpuff. And of course, feel free if you want to leave some sets down below because I might just use some of them in the next battle. And what more do I want to wrap this up with? Subscribe if you are new. The members of the Shy Guys squad are ever expanding, and we are working our way now to road to 500. So if we could hit that before the summer ends, that would be awesome. I'm awesome. I'm from Boston. No, but for real, that would be absolutely great if we could hit 500 by the end of the summer, before school goes back into place, just like 3 weeks from now or something like that. So, and with that, I hope to see you guys tomorrow for the game. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.